Sports View London.
Good afternoon everyone, welcome to the wonderful Bramall Lane, looking outside. What a fantastic stadium, and a pleasure to be in Sheffield. What a turnout today. Some promoters would dream to have this turnout at their actual shows, but ours is on Saturday night, and I cannot wait for the return of the special one, KELL BROOK. It's been nearly 10 months since he last defended his IBF world title, 17,000 at the O2 when he defeated Frankie Gavin, and almost 12 months since he was boxing in Sheffield when he faced his first mandatory challenger against Jojo Dan. Many people are talking and overlooking Kevin BIZIER in this fight. Who's KELL BROOK going to fight in the summer? And I know that he is 100% focused on Saturday night. We give full credit and respect to Kevin BIZIER. He earned his shot to be here. He won a final eliminator stopping Frederick Lawson in a very tough fight, and this is his golden opportunity. I know exactly how KELL BROOK felt when he was the mandatory challenger and what this meant to him. So we expect a great fight on Saturday night in the main event. KELL BROOK is the #1 ranked welterweight with the Ring magazine. I believe he's the best welterweight in the world, and over the next 12 months you're going to see just that. It's an absolute privilege to be working with Yvonne Michelle and Group GYM. We've done a lot of business in recent times with James DeGale against Lucien Butte and plenty of other fights, backwards and forwards. And I know that his fighter will be very well prepared for this wonderful opportunity. We're going to be hearing from the main event shortly. So many other fights on this card, title fights, Commonwealth title fights, heavyweight title fights, young prospects coming through from Yorkshire and surrounding areas, and I'm so pleased to have a number of great fighters on the table. Lee Wood down the end, who I believe is ready now to move on to major titles, has a tough fight for the Central Area title against Lee Glover on Saturday night. It's going to be starting off our pre-recorded action. Andy Townend against Craig Poxon is such a wonderful fight. These English title fights can really throw up some great entertainment. Andy is a huge hitting fighter with Steffi Bull, and Craig is certainly here to fight as well. That's going to be our first live televised fight, kicking off at 7:30 on Sky Sports 1 on Saturday night. I urge both of you guys to go out, enjoy yourself, and give the fans absolutely everything and plenty of value for money. Dave Allen, a young heavyweight who had the disappointment of the fallout of the fight with Richard Towers this week, has actually landed himself a real chance and real opportunity against, I wouldn't say our old friend, because he looks younger every time I see him, and that's the beauty of the services available in America these days. Jason Gavin, who had the phone call on, I think, Tuesday or something like that. You know exactly what the reply is going to be with Jason Gavin. You know, I think the text was something like, have an opportunity. Yeah, that was. No, you're right. Yeah, how much is the first reply, and then generally the second. No, the second reply is that's not enough, and then the third reply is just send me the flight details. And I want to thank Jason Gavin for making a trip over. He's been in with all the top heavyweights in the world. And I know Dave Allen's trained very hard for this fight. I'm pleased that Dave has a real fight on Saturday night, and it's always a pleasure to have Jason back in the UK. Our Chief Support contest, which will be in the ring around 9:30 p.m, is a fight that I'm very, very excited about. It's a local derby, if you like. It's the Battle of Yorkshire between two great young fighters. Firstly, Gary Sykes, former British champion, against the Olympic champion Luke Campbell. Everybody knows the disappointment of Luke Campbell's defeat on December the 12th to Yvonne Mendy. Many was tipping him to be a future world champion for Britain, and we believe that's still the case. I think he has the toughest fight of his career against Gary Sykes on Saturday night, and what a big fight to come back to after that defeat. Welcome to Jorge Rubio, Luke's new trainer. Luke's been out in Miami. He's dedicated his whole life to the sport, and recently, made sure that he left his family at home and went out with Jorge. He's had a wonderful 8 weeks out there for really the fight of his life on Saturday night. So we're going to hear from those guys now. And firstly, Lee, obviously boxed at the arena last time. Chance for you to pick up a title here, and hoping to look good once again.
Yeah, big opportunity. Thanks for having me back on a massive bill. I'm feeling really confident, not just ahead of my fight, but in myself, my boxing ability. I'm buzzed at the minute. Everything's clicking together. My last fight, I had to box to instruction a little bit, and it was a bit boring for me. I like to let my hands go and enjoy myself, and I couldn't do that last time out. This time, the instructions are clear, and I'm going to be letting shots go and expressing myself, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Obviously, it's a great division at the moment domestically, and you must feel like you're on the verge now of certainly the British titles and looking beyond.
I think after this, it's got to be a British Commonwealth or something along them lines. I'm ready for him now. I'm really going to show on Saturday how much I'm ready for it, and I just can't wait to get a shot at one of the titles. And if it can be made, it can be made. You know, I've never turned a fight down in my life. You know, I'm ready for any of them guys. We don't want 24 hours notice or getting paid in Monopoly money, but we'll sort it after this fight for sure.
Andy, obviously Sky Sports viewers have seen you in action on the Leeds bill, and I know big support coming for you again on Saturday night, and looks like a real fan-friendly fight against Craig Foxton.
Yeah, it'll be a good friendly fight, yeah. We'll get through it and see what happens then.
Obviously renowned for your power and punch power, looking to show that on Saturday night.
Yeah, looking to show all the time. I always like to punch hard, like, but just enjoy myself out there, and last time I let the occasion get to me, and this time I'll just enjoy myself.
Craig, big opportunity for yourself as well, live on Sky. I'm sure you've seen Andy fight before. I know you've been preparing hard, sort of sparring with George Jupp, and looking forward to Saturday.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's a big opportunity, it's a big stage. Obviously I'm not very well known, but I'm grateful to be on here, and I've known Andy a long time, like through amateurs, but he's a good fighter, full respect to him, but he's in my way, innit?
Obviously, we talked about how Andy likes to fight. Tell us how you expect the fight to map out for the fans on Saturday. Looking to meet him head on?
Every fight's different, innit? When Bell goes, things change. Andy likes to fight, he can let his hands go, he's got big shots, so I'm just looking forward to seeing how it pans out myself, like.
Dave, you've look in great shape. I think it's fair to say the shape of your career so far. Had great sparring, I think, out in Finland. Was you in Finland? Looked nice and warm out there, and I know you're ready to go, looking to make a big impression on the British domestic heavyweight scene.
Yeah, first and foremost, a disappointing week again. You know, the second time that I pull out on a week of the fight. I'm disappointed for Richard as well. You know, at least I'm still fighting. I've got a good fight. I'm fighting Jason Gavin. Got a lot of respect for Jason for for one, taking the fight. And two, he's fought numerous world champions. A future world champion, Anthony Joshua. And first and foremost, I want to be successful. I want to win the fight. And then it's about making a statement as well. And it's making a comparison to Joshua, to Wilder, to all these names. I've got a lot of respect for Jason. I know it's going to be a tough ask, maybe even better than the original fight.
Obviously, over the last 12 months, we've seen the British domestic scene just flourish in the division. You talk about those bigger guys who are obviously tied up for now, but certainly the likes of Dylan White and David Price and Derek Chisora, if he's not triumphant for the European title, must be on the radar if you come through Jason Gavin.
Yeah, obviously, the top names, the very top names, Tyson Fury, David Hay, Joshua, I'm not on their radar. They're on mine, but I'm not on theirs. But I'll fight anyone. Proved it with Oriang last time, Gavin this time. Whether I'm successful Saturday. All Stephen's got to do is put a name in, I'll say yes. So a good performance Saturday night will set me up for these big fights, hopefully.
Jason, you're used to fighting a lot of top experienced guys. David, not so. Looking to make experience pay for you on Saturday.
Yeah, first, thank you for the opportunity. I fought on the KELL Brooks undercard when he beat Sean Porter at the Home Depot. I fought Deontay Wilder. When I fought Anthony Joshua, KELL Brooks was ringside. I gave him a shout out. He didn't say anything back. I'm still kind of upset about that. But now I'm fighting here, on his undercard again. So thank you, KELL Brooks. But yeah, man, David Allen's a young guy coming up, and I guess I'm the old veteran guy, and got the call at short notice as usual. But I'm here to fight. The fans know what I bring to the table, and we're gonna see what David has Saturday night.
I know you haven't had the longest preparation for this fight. You're always looking in great shape. You sent me a message actually a couple of weeks ago talking about the fact that you wanted to really try and forge your way back in the rankings. You feel like you have a lot left, and you feel like you can get these big fights. Potentially in this game, only ever one win away from a big fight against a domestic opponent in the UK, for example, or even abroad. I know you're coming off a win yourself, but still got ambitions to move up those rankings.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said, you're only 1 or 2 wins away from making a title shot or making a big money fight, and it's hard to do those things on your own. You got to have the right people behind you, get promotion, the right promoter, and right now heavyweight boxing is here in the UK. So why not go to the best? So that's why I contacted you and see what we can work out. And it's funny how this worked out like this. Is a good opportunity for me because a win over David might propel me into bigger fights. You know, unfortunately, I didn't have the camp that I would have liked to have, but we're going to give it a go and see what David has Saturday night.
Great stuff. Always a pleasure to have you here. Gary, a huge fight for you on Saturday night. It's a fight you can really get your teeth into. You know, 2 sets of fans from Yorkshire, of course. A tough fight for you, I think we know that, but you know, I'd give you a great shot in this fight, and obviously Luke coming off his defeat as well. You fancy this on Saturday?
Yeah, 100%. I'm under no illusion that the team is a stepping stone, but I thrive off pressure and I thrive off being an underdog, and training's gone great, and I'm just not reading the script that they're reading.
Obviously, again, the lightweight division domestically is flourishing, as many are. This fight, this profile fight, and a victory over Luke Campbell sees in your mind, you know, the shots against the likes of Croller and Flanagan, and puts you up on that stage.
Yeah, definitely. It sets seen the light for me. I've beaten Nicola twice, so I'd love that. I love that again. And I boxed Teddy Flanagan. That's when I was a super feather. So I boxed them both when I was super feather, and now I'm a fully fledged lightweight. So see where I go from there.
Jorge Rubio, you've had a great camp with Luke. Tell us a bit about what you've been working on and how excited you are for his first fight.
No, he did a good training camp, and I hope that everything is coming good Saturday night. And he did a good spar, a good spar partner, and I hope that everything is ready for Saturday night.
Obviously, you've only been working for a short time in this camp, but have worked together, you know, in areas for a number of years now. Tell us what you see in Luke Campbell. You've worked with so many great fighters. Tell us about the good points about Luke Campbell as a fighter.
No, the situation that he was training with me before for 2 weeks, you know, only he trained in age 5, and he did the 3 fight training with me only for 2 weeks. And now was a training camp more large, and I hope that he's ready. He got some skill more now for to be better in the fight, and I hope that we are winning the fight for any decision.
Luke, obviously the disappointment of December 12th. I think, you know, anyone who knows you knows how determined you are as an individual, and I know that cut deep, that loss, but straight away took yourself away. And you wanted to be straight back in a big fight. You know, many people would have taken an 8-rounder here, just a little confidence builder before moving into a fight like this. Not you. You wanted to go straight back in, and I know Gary Sykes is a fight you're very excited about.
Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously last time out, you know, it was probably a tough lesson where I didn't really need to learn, but you know, everything happens for a reason. You know, I'm 100% focused. I've been away, camp's gone great. I don't think I've ever been as focused as what I am. You know, and you know, I've prepared differently, mentally, physically, and you know, I've really pushed myself and you know, pushed myself outside my comfort zone. You know, all ready for Gary. You know, I respect Gary. I've known him a lot of years. I know what he brings to the table, so I'm 100% prepared for that. And you know, I've really been enjoying pushing myself and enjoying what I'm doing. You know, I'm on it, and come Saturday night, you're all gonna see, you know, what I'm capable of, and you know, I'm only scratching the surface right now.
Obviously, same question to you, domestic scene flourishing, and you know, prior to December 12th, we were already talking about Croller and Flanagan and Mitchell and these kind of guys. This is a must-win fight for you on Saturday night. No doubt about it. If you want to be mixing with those guys. Oh
yeah, most definitely. It's a must-win. You know, I train to win every single one of them. You know, but yeah, it's definitely a must-win. I'm confident. I'm feeling good. You know, everything's gone as it should have gone, and you know, I can happily say now I'm stepping in the ring 100%, ready for Saturday night.
We look forward to that fight for the vacant Commonwealth.
I wanted him to fight more. I want the rematch with the guy again.
With Yvonne Mendes.
Please,
yeah.
I need it.
I made that call this morning, but we'll get Saturday out of the way, and then we'll deal with that. It's the vacant Commonwealth lightweight title. Actually, Luke Campbell looking to become the first man in history from Hull, I believe, to win the Commonwealth title. Great stat for all you statisticians out there. Team Kevin BIZIER, welcome. Mark, I know you're a bit easier to understand me than others, and we know that you've trained very hard for this fight. This is an opportunity of a lifetime for Kevin BIZIER. A lot of people looking past Kevin BIZIER, like I said earlier, not us. But tell us a little bit about the camp you've had the shape Kevin's in, and your thoughts going into the fight on Saturday.
First of all, I would like to thank Eddie Ernst and Yvon Michel to put things together to make that happen. It's a great opportunity for Kevin BIZIER. We had an amazing training camp with a very good quality of sparring partner. We have no excuse, no injury. We have nothing to lose and everything to gain here. Thank you.
Obviously, I'm sure you've studied KELL BROOK leading up to this fight. I, for one, feel that the styles gel very well in this fight to make it a great fight. Both fighters like to stand and fight, both like to come forward, both punch hard, both have good chins. What have you seen in the build-up, without obviously giving your tactics away, but talking about the styles of the fight? We know Kevin always likes to excite.
For sure, I don't want to explain too much exactly what we're going to do Saturday night. I think KELL is a very good fighter, complete fighter who can do a lot of stuff in the ring. And it's the same thing for Kevin BIZIER. He fought all his life at the international amateur level. Now he's a professional. He's a mandatory challenger. He has a lot of ability, and he can adapt to any kind of situation in the ring. I think when you look at both styles, that fight is a guaranteed success for the fans.
Thank you. Before we hear from Kevin, Yvon, welcome. And we know you have a very close relationship with Kevin BIZIER. This is a fight you're very passionate about, and a huge opportunity for Kevin to become world champion.
Yes, absolutely. So first, I'd like to thank you very much for having us here. You have your team, and you have treated us very first class, and we really appreciate. You know, we have made that deal for BROOK and BIZIER about a day and a half before the first bid date, while Eddie was in his vacation in the Caribbean with his family. I was on the ski slope with mine in the Eastern Township in Quebec. So I know you are very, very busy. You know, I want to congratulate you. I see that you have 4 weeks in a row fights, World Championship fights, so it's very impressive. And I really like the way you're conducting the press conference here. I'm going to take some tips from you. Kevin BIZIER has earned his position here. It hasn't been a gift. He's been pro since 8 years now. He traveled well. He fought in the amateur boxing. He was 7-year Canadian champion. He was a Canadian team member. He fought here in England, in Liverpool. He fought 4 fights. Just before he turned pro. He won his position as a mandatory contender when he knocked out undefeated Frederick Lawson. It was in Miami, far away from his own place. And so you cannot have a better dedicated athlete. You cannot have a better team than the team that surround him for his preparation. He knew that he was going to fight for the World Championship right after the Lawson fight, so it was early November. So he's been training for that since that date, March 26th. It's the best date that we could have got for him to be ready. And I want to talk just a little bit now about his motivation. You know, his motivation is that high. It's like, for him, he's gonna fight like if it is his last fight ever. I guarantee you that Kevin will get in the ring, and if you think that he's gonna go away in 1 or 2 rounds, no, you better, I'm telling you, he will be there until the end. You know, I read everywhere. I read that KELL BROOK was hoping to have a good opposition, to have a good fight for your fan at some time. You have to be careful what you wish for, because you can have it, and then when you have it, you have to cope with it. So Kevin BIZIER is coming here to win the title and to go back home with the IBF belt. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Yvon. Just tell us briefly about what this would mean back home in Canada and Quebec. I know, we talked about potentially bringing this fight to that area. Kevin's very popular over there. Big support back home, of course, on TV in Canada as well.
He is going to be on pay-per-view. We have about 150 bars that have bought the fight already. Kevin is the first boxer ever born in Quebec City to fight for world championship. So the city mayor is behind him. No winning. If you're telling us that there will be between 7,000 and 10,000 people, there would have been more people than that at the Videotron Center in Quebec City. And if winning the title, there will be 18,000 people waiting for him for his next fight over there. He is very popular. He's a family man. Everybody likes to be associated with Kevin BIZIER, and he will not disappoint.
Thank you. Kevin, a huge opportunity for you on Saturday night. I know you're very excited about the fight.
I speak French for, I'm not very good in English. Je voulais juste dire que, regarde, c'est vrai que c'est la plus grosse opportunité de toute ma vie. Puis on sait que c'est une grosse mission, mais on va essayer de faire de mieux samedi.
Says he understands that this is a great task, that he's very motivated, that he's well prepared, and he's going to do everything he can to get the win Saturday.
Thank you. Dom, it's definitely been the longest training camp of all time. KELL not been out of the ring for this long for some period. He's been extremely disciplined since the injury that forced him out of the Diego Chavez fight, and I think he's looking forward to going in there and putting on a great display on Saturday.
Yeah, he's been in camp a long time. He's fit, he's strong, he's on weight, and once again we're at the mandatory position again. Kevin BIZIER, who's had the fortune to see Jojo Dan, who's boxed twice when we killed BROOK. He knows what's coming, he knows what to expect, and sometimes in boxing that's a good thing. He's a tough guy, he can punch, and he put in two good performances against Jojo Dan. But on Saturday night it's going to be a different kettle of fish to Jojo Dan with KELL BROOK. I watched Kevin Tuesday in the workout on the pads. He looks like he's got plenty of power, plenty of snap. For me, he looked a little bit tense, like he was on edge. A bit like a man on his wedding night who's got something to prove. But if he goes out on Saturday night, relaxes, enjoys it, I'm sure he won't feel a thing. But he's going to come and give a good fight. He's going to be up for it. It's his big chance, and I'm expecting him, to go at least 6 or 7 rounds before maybe it gets a bit too much for him. He sorts to unravel a little bit, and then KELL BROOK takes him out. Obviously,
we know there's been a huge amount of frustration over the period with injuries, forcing KELL BROOK out of fights. How concerned are you that KELL, he talks in his interviews about the fact that he just wants to go in and have a real fight. He wants to have a tear up, that he sticks to the game plan that you, or are you willing to let him go into that mode?
There's obviously time and a place for a tear up, and that's generally when you box the guy to a place where you can start having a tear up with him and there's nothing left in him. And I think over the last, I've seen a couple of fights where kids have run out. One particular fight, Anthony Joshua and the other guy, and they started off with a punch up, and then they finished off boxing. But the way we do it is we start off boxing, break them down, and then get into a bit of a punch up and finish them off. And I think that's the proper way to do it. So KELL's always wanted to get let off the leash, but he's a good boxer. He picks his way in first. He finds the openings. He's very precise. Like he did with Frankie Gavin. A lot of people talking about Frankie Gavin being a fantastic on his feet. KELL's going to have problems breaking him down and closing him down. And within 4 or 5 rounds he'd done that. He knocked him out in 6. So KELL can do it both ways. He can have a fight. He can box. Whichever way it's going to be on Saturday night, I'm sure KELL BROOK's going to pull it out of the bag, give the fans what they want.
Obviously, you talked about Kevin BIZIER being a big puncher. We know that. We know he's got a good chin as well. How important is it with everybody talking about what's next to stay in the moment on Saturday night? We've seen fighters in the past, whether it's Tyson against Douglas or Morales against Raheem, take their eye off the ball looking at other fights and make mistakes.
Well, we've had this before. I remember KELL boxing in Atlantic City in 2011, I think, and he came into the gym and said, Eddie's going to get me this guy, it's going to be an easy fight. And I said to him, there's no easy fights in boxing. And we don't allow the fighters to under-prepare. Whether it's in their mind or not to do it or not, it's down to them. But when they're in the gym, there's no easy workouts, there's no easy spars, everything's full on. And we rolled up into that fight, and the guy who turned up was in immaculate condition. He had a Rocky t-shirt on. He knew everything about KELL BROOK, everything about the gym. And that was a prime example of not underestimating it. And for 4 or 5 rounds, he came out and threw everything at KELL BROOK, bust KELL a few times. He says, "I'm going to have to win and finish him." I says, "No, wait your chance, it'll come." As soon as KELL gets hit with a shot, something decent, he wants to have a war. It took his time, and eventually, he finished the kid off. And unfortunately, afterwards, the kid ended up in hospital. But that's what boxing's about. So we learned the lesson fairly early on with KELL BROOK. Never tell anybody it's going to be an easy fight. It's not going to be an easy fight with Kevin BIZIER. It's tough. We've not overlooked him. We've done all the work. We're not looking past Kevin BIZIER, because to get past Kevin, get to the big fights, you've got to beat Kevin BIZIER, and you've got to beat Kevin BIZIER in style. He's got a level. He's got a measure. He's lost twice to Giorgio Dan. He's around about that level. But he's a different fighter to Giorgio Dan. He's not a southpaw. He's not really a boxer. You'll have a bit of a fight, and Giorgio Dan just managed to box his way through that fight. But Kevin BIZIER will stand there. Will trade punches, to get his own shots off. And we'll see what happens on Saturday night. But KELL's a precise puncher. He's very accurate. He's very powerful. And I think on Saturday night, Kevin BIZIER is probably going to realise after 4 or 5 rounds he's out of his depth.
KELL BROOK, 10 months nearly till you were last in the ring. A quick turnaround in that fight from the Jojo Dan, which was 12 months nearly since you've walked out in front of your people at Sheffield Arena. I know you're so excited to be back at the arena on Saturday night, and so excited to be fighting again.
Absolutely, but I'm desperate for an old-fashioned war. This Saturday I'm desperate for an old-fashioned war. I know that BIZIER is a strong come-forward fighter, and I'm looking to excite everybody who comes to the show and have an old-fashioned war. I'm very excited. It's been nearly a year since I was back in the Sheffield Arena. And this is fight week. I can't wait to get weighed in, get some scran in there, and get ready for fight night. Camp has gone, unbelievably well. But we've obviously missed out on a few things. Not celebrating birthdays and over Christmas. But my mind's been on the job in hand, and I've made sure that there's no stone being unturned. We've done everything right, and Saturday night it's about breaking Mr. BIZIER's heart, and then it's about breaking his bones. So Saturday night, here we go.
Obviously, people talk about the fights in the future for you. How important is it? Obviously, you have to get through Saturday night, but do you feel the pressure to look good on Saturday night? You need to shine. We'll talk about you being the #1 ranked fighter in the division. Feel you're going to have to prove that against Kevin BIZIER first?
I have. I'm the IBF champion of the world, and I need to go out there and show everybody why I'm the champion. I've got to look good in this fight. And I believe that I'm the best welterweight on the planet, and I'm ready for them big fights. I always rise to the occasion. I always find a way. I've seen every style. Our gym, is built on seeing every style. That's why we get the Ingle style, come to us. But this is me now. I'm 30 this year. I wanna show the world. I am the best, and I'm ready for them big fights. I'm ready for them.
Finally, explain your thoughts going in when you're standing up on that stage on Saturday night. All of the lights comes out. 7,000-8,000 people in the arena. The tingle up your spine. What you live for as a professional fighter.
That's it. This is what I was born for. In the dressing room, I've got my gloves on. I'm hitting the pads. I'm hearing the fans getting louder. It's getting nearer the time. And then you walk down the tunnel, and they play all of the lights. And it's your time. You walk out there. You see all the fans. Shouting your name, and you're walking closer to that ring, and you feel invincible. You've done everything right. It's about getting in and just enjoying the night. What a night it's going to be.
Thank you, KELL BROOK. A great night of action, March the 26th, just down the road at the Sheffield Arena. We'll be live and exclusive on Sky Sports 1 from 7:30. You expect around 4.5 hours of coverage and live action coming at you from the arena. The weigh-in will take place at the Winter Gardens tomorrow at 1 PM, which is right by the Mercure Hotel where we had the workout. And I want to wish everybody on this table the best of luck. Thank you all, so many people, for coming out today. Enjoy the night. Get behind, I believe, one of the best fighters the country has ever seen in KELL BROOK, and expect a wonderful main event, chief support action, and a packed card on Saturday night. Thank you very much.
Follow Sports View London